today at the StepUp FB page. Let me begin with talking about StepUp. First, that StepUp is a non-profit initiative taken up by some of the professionals during lockdown to share some knowledge and get some information to people. And today is the time that we have taken up a very serious topic. In the current situations of COVID, as well as the scenario of lockdown, what a lot of people have been affected with a lot of mental health issues. उसके बारे में बात करने के लिए हम लोगों ने सोचा कि वी हैव अ वेरी गुड पर्सन इन आवर टीम, ग्लैंसी. शी इज अ सर्टिफाइड साइकोथेरेपिस्ट एंड आज के समय में कोविड के टाइम्स में व्हेन देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ फियर अराउंड about life, health, and people, not able to, help each other out even when they want to do. People have been really forced upon maybe to lose their jobs, their salaries, and the current scenario wherein recently a big star committed suicide, Sushant Singh Rajput, and it actually has stirred a conversation that about mental health and depression, that people really are really concerned about the fact that mental health and depression is something which is prevailing in our society, and हम लोगों को इसको एड्रेस करने की जरूरत है. एड्रेस करने के लिए, लोगों से बात करने के लिए, एज वेल एज बातों को समझने के लिए एक मोमेंट बहुत जरूरी था. इसीलिए हमने सोचा कि हम ग्लैंसी और मैं मिलकर, ग्लैंसी बिकॉज वो सर्टिफाइड साइकोथेरेपिस्ट है, उनकी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, उनका नजरिया हम लोगों को हेल्प कर सकता है कि पब्लिक जो समझती है डिप्रेशन को, या ये रियली कुछ है भी, या कुछ लोगों ने इसके खौआ बना के रखा है. Glancy, can you share some thoughts? Is it really a disease? Is it really a problem? Should we tackle it?
हाय कोमल. मैं स्माइल कर रही हूँ, लेकिन एक्चुअली क्योंकि तुम जैसे बोल रहे हो इसलिए स्माइल कर रही हूँ, लेकिन इसमें कोई हंसने की कोई बात नहीं है. इट्स अ वेरी वेरी सीरियस, इट्स अ डिजीज. और डिप्रेशन जैसे हम लोगों को कैंसर होता है, यू गेट अ डिजीज लाइक लेप्रोसी, लाइक कैंसर, लाइक एनी काइंड ऑफ डिजीज दैट यू गेट.
Right.
Depression has got various forms, and depression is a very real disease. और मैं repeat कर रही हूँ बार बार, ये ऐसा मन गढ़ंत, it's not something which is manufactured. Maybe बहुत छोटा percentage है जो people believe they are depressed, बहुत बहुत ही एकदम fractional है, but 78% of the world globally, 350 million people in the world suffer from depression. And
Staggering.
these facts are real. And another fact is that, you know, uh, people die more due to suicide than they die out of homicide. Okay, and this is a fact. So depression is very real. As a person who studied it, from a technical, from an academic aspect, let me give you a little bit of insight, okay, about what
Right.
depression is.
Yeah.
It is defined as a mood disorder. Okay, अभी आप बोलेंगे ये exactly mood disorder क्या होता है?
Correct.
It's a physiological, biological, genetical disorder. Okay, a lot of things are there in the in the individual's persona which make him, and we are biochemical beings. And what
Correct.
happens is that there are certain people who, जब उठते हैं सुबह में तो बेड से उछल के निकल जाते हैं, वाह व्हाट अ वंडरफुल डे, एकदम
Correct.
सनी सनी होता है, एकदम उनको देख के चिढ़ आती है.
Correct.
ऐसे लोग होते हैं. और आपको भी ऐसे मुझे दिख रहा है कि ऐसे याद आ रहा है कोई ऐसे जो बहुत इरिटेट करता है बंदा.
True.
लेकिन
True.
बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग भी होते हैं जो बेड से उठना नहीं चाहते, वो
Correct.
नया दिन देखना नहीं चाहते. दे हैव अ
Correct.
फीलिंग ऑफ बीइंग मिजरेबल, ऑफ बीइंग
Correct.
absolutely gloomy all the time. And
Correct.
in depression, there are various kinds of depression. There is bipolar disorder depression, there is manic depression, clinical depression, जो काफी सीरियस है, इतना सीरियस है कि हर दिन का जीना उनको बहुत ही डिफिकल्ट होता है.
Correct.
और अभी की जो बात है हम लोग देख रहे हैं, बहुत सारे लोग इतने दुखी है कि एक कितने अच्छे एक्टर का, नौजवान हैंडसम, हर कोई अचंभे में है कि हाउ कैन सच अ सक्सेसफुल गाय डू दिस टू हिमसेल्फ. There
Correct.
is so much more about this disease that we do not know, people are not aware of. And I
Right.
want to show you a slide over here right now, if
Yeah.
I may.
Yeah.
This
Yes,
is,
Clancy, go ahead. Yeah.
this is what a person who is depressed looks like. If you see, it's a smiling face, okay? And the fact remains that the world's most successful people, okay, unfortunately have committed suicide
Correct.
because living for them, because they have a genetic disorder. It could be a genetic disorder, it could be that your hormones are not functioning properly, it could be that you could have some other thyroid issue. There are so many reasons that you could be depressed, okay?
Right.
But it is a very real, a very clearly diagnostically you can diagnose it. But one of the things which I want to share today is that it is treatable. It
Correct.
is very much treatable. So
Right.
you cannot look at a person and say whether he's depressed or not. Okay,
Correct.
most
Correct.
of the time they are hiding behind a mask of joy, of happiness. Okay,
Right.
if you
Right.
look at the case for Robin Williams, okay, one of the best comedians in the world, he unfortunately also took his life. But जो हम
Right.
लोगों ने psychology में उनका case study, we studied his history, and we realized his entire life, he had a very difficult life. He was
Right.
suffering from substance abuse, he was manically depressed. In his
Correct.
60s, he also contracted another disease, Parkinson's, which affected his brain, which caused him to be more depressed. So even
Correct.
though despite the fact that he was on antidepressants and trying to, he could not stop but hurt himself and kill himself. So we need to be understanding. We may not understand, and that's one important thing. हमको शायद समझ में नहीं आए, और जो
Correct.
जैसे हम लोग बोलते हैं ना, जैसे हम लोग जैसे नॉर्मल इज नॉट द राइट वर्ड एक्चुअली, जैसे हम लोग
Right.
आप जैसे, like you like me,
Correct.
we may not understand, but we have
Right.
to accept, and that is
Correct.
important. And we have
Correct.
to recognize the symptoms and the signs, and we have a responsibility to our friends, to our families, to people who we are connected to show that we care and do something
Yeah.
about it. So I
Yeah.
think I try to answer your question, Komal. It's not
Yeah.
easy, but in the
I
time that we
understand.
have.
Yeah. I wanted to actually ask you another question, Glancy, that you just showed us the slide as well. And actually, the happy person as well as the depressed person both had the same face. So, एक बहुत ही important question ये निकल आता है कि how can I really judge that ये बंदा depressed है या is he tackling some mental issues? Because I want to put two questions to you together. One is that हम कैसे identify करें कि इस बंदे की मदद करने की जरूरत है? बिकॉज कई बार इंडिविजुअल्स खुद निकलकर यहाँ तक नहीं पहुंच पाते कि हमें मदद की जरूरत है. सो आई थिंक वी एज रिस्पॉन्सिबल पीपल अराउंड, हम लोग सभी लोगों को आसपास देखने की जरूरत है शायद और आइडेंटिफाई करने की जरूरत है. दैट्स वन. सेकंड, अगर हम ये कर पाते हैं, सो व्हाट शुड वी डू? आई मीन आई वांट टू पुट दैट टुगेदर टू यू, ग्लेंसी.
Okay, that's like a lot of questions in one. I'll try to give you the response. Okay, first thing is that पहली बार तो we should as individuals have a good network of friends. Very important for your own good health. पहले अपने पे देखो. Do you have a good support system in place? If your
करेक्ट.
family cannot give you that support, do you have a peer group support in place? So as an individual, that's important. Okay. Secondly, if you are with people and you're around them all the time, okay, and if you call yourself a friend, okay, and I'll tell you the definition of a friend is your counselor, okay. The first person who can be your counselor is your friend.
राइट.
Okay, so I will get into that maybe a little bit also. See, counseling जो कहते हैं ना, काउंसलर का क्या है? जो आपको गाइड करे, आपकी बातें सुने, और मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट जब हम लोग साइकोथेरेपी करते हैं तो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट क्वालिटी जो चाहिए आदमी में, और वो है कि आपको लिसन लिसन करना है, आपको
करेक्ट.
बकना नहीं है. यू हैव
ट्रू.
टू बी देयर फॉर योर फ्रेंड, यू हैव टू लिसन, यू हैव टू बी empathetic, and you have to
करेक्ट.
just be there. So the I
ट्रू.
will say just a short tip, keep try to be there, keep your eyes and your ears open,
राइट.
because there are symptoms, there are ways that people manifest behavior. You may not
Correct.
see it in a day, but if you have a colleague, okay, if you're traveling with that colleague all the time, think of yourself as a counselor. Everybody is a counselor, everybody can do
Correct.
it.
True.
Keep your ears and your eyes open, be
Correct.
sensitive to the person and reach out. अगर आपको दिखे कोई ऐसा, तुमको आप reach out करो.
Right.
एंड अगर आप ऑब्जर्व और क्या बिहेवियर पैटर्न्स होते हैं, मैं आपको इट इज नॉट इजी, ऐसा नहीं है कि हर एक बिहेवियर पैटर्न आप समझ पाओगे, ऐसा नहीं होता है, बिकॉज
Right.
जो भी आप जनरली लोग आप जिनसे मिलोगे, वो आप पूछोगे ना, हाउ आर यू ओके, उनका जवाब रहेगा आई एम फाइन थैंक यू.
Yeah. Yeah.
ओके, it is not easy, it is absolutely not easy, but there are certain behavior patterns that you will see. Lack of sleep, okay, people who are not
Correct.
sleeping, कोई भी टाइम पे अवेक रहते हैं, कुछ ज्यादा ही हंसते हैं. मैंने ऐसे भी देखा है कि कुछ लोग बहुत ज्यादा हंसते हैं
Correct.
अपना दुख दबाने के लिए, और अगर
True.
आप उनके सच्चे दोस्त हो तो आप समझ जाओगे, आप आपको पनपना पड़ेगा. यू विल हैव
Correct.
टू, देयर इज नो श्योर फायर वे. अगर श्योर फायर वे कोई होता ना तो बहुत सारे लोग बच जाते थे
Correct.
इसमें से. फिर
Correct.
वो लोग, another behavior pattern, and you see the behavior pattern, I will try to I'll try to show you the slide as well. बहुत कुछ होता है, एंड इट डिपेंड्स फ्रॉम डिफरेंट एज ग्रुप्स. अगर
Right.
बच्चे हैं तो बच्चे बहुत ही क्लिंगिंग हो जाते हैं, बहुत ही इरिटेबल हो जाते हैं,
Correct.
कुछ कुछ चीजों में खेलते नहीं है. मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट, चिल्ड्रन हु अवॉइड प्लेइंग, children
Right.
who want to sleep all the time, children
Correct.
who do not engage with with adults, they spend
Correct.
too much time alone.
Correct.
Children should not be allowed to spend too much time alone, यानी कि कुछ तो उनके मन में हो रहा है. So
Correct.
you need, especially with children, you have to take care.
Right.
Women का अलग रहता है, men का अलग रहता है. So I'm
Correct.
trying to, I put this slide on the screen just to give you some idea. But you know, you hear about the person overweight, underweight, न खाना, these are the obvious aspects. खेलना
Correct.
नहीं, गाना नहीं, कुछ बाहर नहीं जाना है, कुछ करना नहीं है, सोते भी है लेकिन सो नहीं पाते. तो ये जो बहुत सारे जो सिम्टम्स है, एक तो बाहरी वाले सिम्टम्स है, और अगर आप देख रहे हैं कि आपको भी ऐसे हो रहा है, तो यू हैव टू एनालाइज योरसेल्फ. इट इज नॉट डिफिकल्ट. एंड
Right.
when you see person's behavior changing over a period of time,
Right.
then you uh, you get an idea. If the behavior is showing over a period of 2 months, then you definitely require serious intervention. You
Correct.
need to meet a doctor. You need to take it forward. Yeah.
Yeah. Glancy, I want to ask you one question. I think you have still not completed that answer. You just, I mean, identified some symptoms and stuff like that. But I also wanted to ask you this question because ये चीज काफी common है कि लोग अपने mental health issues as well as depression के बारे में बात इसीलिए भी नहीं करना चाहते because it has a lot of stigma associated. क्या है कि लोग जैसे कोई कहता है भाई मैं साइकेट्रिस्ट के पास जाकर आया या साइकोथेरेपिस्ट के पास जाकर आया, जैसे स्पेशली आई टॉक अबाउट इन इंडिया, लोगों का आई मीन थेरेपिस्ट के पास जाना या फिर उनसे बात करना किसी से, वो ऐसे साउंड करता है कि ये पगला गया, ये पागल है. आई मीन ये जो स्टिग्मा है, आई मीन हाउ टू गेट ओवर इट एंड मे बी यू कैन हेल्प अस दैट if we identify what could be the ways we can tackle.
Yeah. So the first thing, okay, that's a good question. The first thing that people, and especially with culturally, we've been brought up is that कि भाई ये तो जो तेरा प्रॉब्लम है ये सब तेरे मन में है, ये तू ख्याली डिप्रेस्ड है, ऐसा कुछ है नहीं है, चलो
Correct.
निकलो. ऐसे सोचते रहोगे तो बहुत कुछ हम लोगों को सुनना पड़ता है. And
Correct.
see, one thing with depression is everybody goes through it at some point in life. Okay.
Right.
uh, People who commit suicide, whom you feel that they have everything and they have this thing, उनका हिस्ट्री ऑफ जो डिप्रेशन है और उनका जो कॉजेज ऑफ डिप्रेशन है काफी सीरियस होते हैं. ओके.
Right.
फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आज अगर आपकी मैं शायद थोड़ा सा हट रही हूँ लेकिन मैं ट्राई करूंगी. आई कम बैक टू योर क्वेश्चन.
Right.
अभी देखो, अगर आपके पास अगर 1 लाखों की गाड़ी होती है आज, और बाहर से कोई तो कोकोनट ट्री उसके ऊपर गिर गया और वो बिखर गए, उसकी हो गए, कल्याण हो गया उसका गाड़ी
Right.
का, तो
Right.
आपको दुख होगा, आपको बहुत
Correct.
गुस्सा आएगा, यू गेट वेरी डिप्रेस्ड फॉर अ व्हाइल. बट इफ
Right.
आई आस्क यू, Komal, after 1 year, will you be still as depressed as you are this moment?
No,
You
not
know,
really.
you
Yeah.
know that after 1 year you will recover.
Correct.
So that is a situational, circumstantial, emotional situation as of now. You
Correct.
know, going through a traumatic relationship, breakup of a relationship, you will recover. You should recover. But
Correct.
if you have chemical imbalance, brain chemical imbalance, then those things they don't go away over time. They need
Right.
to be treated. Okay. So
Correct.
to come back to the main point is the myth जो है कि
Yeah.
ये this is temporary, this will pass, it's all in your mind. This is a myth. Okay.
Correct.
एंड और एक जो लोग बोलते हैं कि डिप्रेशन ओनली अफेक्ट्स वुमेन, ये गलत बात है, ये बहुत ही गलत बात है. डिप्रेशन अफेक्ट्स वुमेन, yes it does, but it also affects men. And see, women somehow are able to cope, even though the if I say the rate of depression in women is higher, women are somehow better able to cope because the figures statistics show that men are more given to committing suicides rather than women. So that's a very
Right.
sad aspect.
Yeah.
Because men का ये है कि वो लोग बात नहीं करते, express बिल्कुल नहीं करते, which is really
Correct.
one of the big challenges for men and depression. Another aspect of this is that the biggest thing that you're hearing in the media, that depression is a sign of weakness. Please, depression is not a sign of weakness, it is a disease. It can affect anybody in this world. Doesn't matter whether you are a person who is 7 feet tall, or whether you're 2 feet tall, whether you're the richest in the world or the poorest, whether you are handicapped or whether you're financially challenged. It can
Correct.
affect each and every person. So
Right.
please remove this from your mind that it is a sign of weakness. It is not, it is a disease. It is a mood disorder. One more
Correct.
thing that people have a myth about is that if you talk about it, about your issues, you should ignore it. You should not talk about why you're feeling depressed. That is wrong. You should
Correct.
talk about it. Find people, your spouse, find co-workers, find friends, get support, give support, but you
Correct.
need to address it.
Correct.
Another
Correct.
way, another misconception about depression is that कि अगर आप साइकियाट्रिस्ट पे गए, लाइक यू सेड, और उसने दवाई दी, तो अभी तो गया, अभी तो तुम पूरी जिंदगी तुमको दवाई पे ही रहना पड़ेगा.
Correct.
दैट इज नॉट ट्रू. दैट इज नॉट ट्रू. ओके. बिकॉज टुडे, आजकल में जो दवाई मिलती है बहुत सेफ है, बहुत इफेक्टिव है, और ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको पूरा उसके ऊपर ही निर्भर रहना पड़ेगा.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And the other thing which we do is that we say depression is that, and this happens with friends, कि उसको cheer up करो भाई, वो डिप्रेशन है उसको cheer up करो, उसको ये मूड
Correct.
से निकालो. ठीक है.
Correct.
ठीक है, आपको करना चाहिए, ऐसा नहीं है आपको नहीं करना चाहिए, लेकिन आपको भी देखना चाहिए कि ये कितना सीरियस है. ये हमेशा से इसका ये मूड ऐसा ही है, रहा है, बहुत टाइम से ऐसा चल रहा है. अगर बहुत टाइम से ये चल रहा है तो आपको अपने दोस्त को या जो भी है आपका, जो जो
Correct.
सफरिंग में जा रहा है, आपको take him for a depression screening test and a
Okay.
treatment. Going
Right.
to a psychiatrist, psychologist is not a stigma, please. And जो स्क्रीनिंग जो टेस्ट होते हैं, बहुत सारे टेस्ट होते हैं, आप ऑनलाइन भी आपको बहुत सारे मिल जाएंगे. आप 15 मिनट में आप चेक करो, आपको इमीडिएटली पता चलेगा कि आप डिप्रेस हो कि नहीं.
Right. Right.
ये मैं मिथ्स बताना चाह रही हूँ आपको.
Right.
बहुत
Right.
सारे कमेंट्स भी आ रहे हैं. कोमल, तो ओवर टू यू अगेन.
Yeah, I think let us take one or two questions before we move on, so that the audience remains connected. I mean, I'm trying to connect two questions. One is that holding emotions and being introvert. I mean, some
Yeah.
of the people are asking whether holding emotions back can cause depression, and another is that maybe it's more vulnerable for introvert people or also extrovert people. Yeah, if you can answer one by one or whatever you choose.
Okay, so like I was saying earlier, from my experience and after studying different case studies of people over the world, I can tell you that there is no such difference. If a
Correct.
person is an introvert or an extrovert, okay, by his nature, that is not a reason or a symptom or whatever that he is more likely to be depressed.
Correct,
No,
correct,
not really. Okay, one of the
correct.
most jovial people in the world, the most networked people in the world have also committed suicide. So it is
True.
not it can't be proven statistically that you if you're an introvert, uh,
Correct, correct.
it's like that. Okay.
And the other one else, Clancy, regarding introvert people, because people also have this myth. Maybe I don't know whether it's a myth or a thing that introverts are more subject to depression and mental health issues compared to extroverts. What would be your opinion, especially if you have a friend who's introvert?
ओके नाउ सी इंट्रोवर्जन जो लोग होते हैं ना दे लव देयर ओन कंपनी. ठीक है, उनको अपना कंपनी बहुत अच्छा लगता है और जो अपना टाइम रहता है ना वो लोग वो टाइम में ना अपने साथ अपने स्पेस में काफी खुश रहते हैं.
Right.
ठीक है, तो ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि इंट्रोवर्ट पीपल आर मोर प्रोन टू डिप्रेशन, ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं
Correct.
है.
Correct.
Okay, if you are introvert doesn't mean that you are lonely, and if you are an extrovert doesn't mean that you're a person who is feeling wonderfully energized with people around you. Okay,
Correct.
it is
Correct.
not like that. It is not like that. Okay, you will never know. Like जैसे किसी ने कहा है ना कि you can be lonely in a crowd full of people and you can be happy with yourself. So it's
Correct.
not. But one thing I will say, whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, you need to have some very very good people in your life who care about you and
Correct.
whom you be able to have a good relationship. So
Right.
very
Right.
important to cultivate valued relationships in your
Correct.
life.
Right, right. I think that's a
Hope
good
I
point
tried.
about. Yeah, I think it was a good answer actually about not being very specific to the behavior patterns of an individual. I mean, anybody could go through this. And I also wanted to highlight one fact that there was a recent AIB video that talks about, can you not treat depression like a normal disease? Like, okay, सर्दी जुकाम है, थोड़ी बहुत आप ले लोगे दवाइयाँ तो ठीक हो जाएगा. So it's not that maybe if you need help, it's not a bad thing. So if somebody has typhoid or jaundice, you're like, okay, he will get well. So we don't assume that ये lifelong typhoid में रहेगा, lifelong jaundice में रहेगा. ऐसा नहीं, हम नहीं सोचते. तो जो stigma association है उसका removal भी बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. Speaking to a therapist is like speaking to a friend, and it's not a bad thing to do it. Clancy, I want to take one question regarding we will touch upon the techniques and maybe support externally
Yeah.
rather than friends, what you can take maybe in the next few minutes. I want to talk about a technique that maybe Siddesh has talked about. Are you aware about it regarding the emotional freedom technique? If you have some knowledge about it, you can share it, or maybe we could maybe answer that later. Glenju, are you able to hear me? Because your video is
Yeah,
frozen,
I
so
can
I'm
hear
not
you.
able. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now it's better, Glency. Go on.
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you
Yeah,
hear
now
me?
it's absolutely
Okay,
perfect.
I
Go on,
lost
Glenn.
connection for a while.
No
Okay,
problems. Yeah, go on.
so there are various cognitive behavioral techniques which are there. Okay,
Right,
now
right,
emotional freedom technique is basically helping an individual to express themselves because we are a bunch of emotions. So yes, there are lots of techniques. There are
correct.
various kind of therapists who do various kinds of therapy. So you have behavioral therapists, you have
Right,
cognitive therapists. So yes, one of them, yes, of course there is none, there is no one better than the other, let me tell you that. Okay, because there are various techniques one can always try, but I put it down to common sense. If you
correct,
have a good friend, get that, get that done. Understand yourself. And what I tell
correct,
people who are getting depressed, one simple tip: if you are feeling low and miserable, okay, this is extremely hard for a person who is suffering from depression to do. Okay, but what you need to do is put on your running shoes and go for a run. Okay,
correct,
go for a run because you will your endorphins, your adrenaline, serotonin, all these chemicals will be thrown into your bloodstream, and when these chemicals start to churn inside, automatically they will elevate your mood. Your hormones will your mood will
correct,
be elevated and you will
correct.
feel better. It is
Right, right.
extremely difficult, but if you feel like this, exercise is one of the
Yeah,
best, quickest surefirest methods of getting. There are lots of other methods, but right now we've just taken a very quick half an hour slot, and
Yeah.
Komal, we're almost at 10:26 right now, and we have
Yeah,
questions
actually,
coming in.
I understand. I mean, Glancy will take a few things as well. I also wanted to add one thing that I have also heard about it, about changing your the moment of grief or moment of depression. Because what I have understood and what I have researched and studied is that maybe the suicidal thoughts occur to people a lot of times, but that
Yes,
moment they are unable to curb that feeling of ending their lives. So maybe one of the techniques, as you said, that put on your sport shoes, run outside. One technique I also heard about was change the posture itself. So whenever you're sitting down, you hear a bad news or something, just stand up, walk a little bit, because that's also one
yes,
way of just moving some of the thoughts. Because physical movement also helps people change their mindset. Glency, yeah, you want to
yes,
add something?
yes. Yes, I want to add that. Thanks for bringing this up. Okay, and I have also done a blog on this one. It's called the Superman pose. Okay, and it works. It works instantly. And what you got to do is, you either put your hands on your hips or put your hands in the air and hold that position, and
Right,
just hold it for a minute. Okay,
right,
and you automatically, your body imitates the victory stance. Okay, and automatically, it's a reverse way it works on you, and
right,
it works. It absolutely works. There are Harvard studies done on this, intense studies, and it works. It's a simple method, but yes,
right,
absolutely. Maybe one day, one of the sessions, we can go deep into that,
correct,
with that topic.
right.
So yeah, so we
Yeah,
are
Glency,
10:20.
yeah, yeah,
Lots of
I
questions.
understand, but I think there are a few questions as well. As let us take it a little bit forward, maybe 10 or
Yeah,
15
I
minutes,
think
a
we
little
have
bit
a
more. Because we have one
yeah
question,
we
but before we go there, I think I want to actually take the most important part of the, I
yeah
mean, this complete discussion. That first
yes
thing you spoke
yes
about, that how to identify. If you are able to identify, maybe a good friend or a peer logic can work. Yeah, you as you suggested. But I want to go to the other extreme of the scenario. What are the methods and the means by which somebody can seek help beyond a friend? Because some people are not comfortable sharing their views to a known person. What are the external mechanisms, maybe free, paid, you could help out people that they can
yeah
vouch out in case of
yeah.
depression, suicidal thoughts? Can you please highlight that before we take any questions?
Yes. Okay. So I myself researched a lot on the internet before I came for this session. Okay. We do have so many. I'm just gonna put the comment as here as well. Okay. And I'll even put this onto the screen.
Yeah,
There is an India helpline. There is an India suicide helpline. Okay. I'm showing it. If you just Google, you have this information available. You have
correct.
numbers. You have several foundations which are offering this service. Let me also put, maybe if I can share my screen also, just give
Yeah,
me a moment,
yes,
because
please.
this will really, we don't go looking for help, okay, and we really need to go looking for help. Let me just give me a moment. Let
Yeah,
me share my screen.
yeah,
Okay, I need to go
no
to
problem. Yeah,
that
you can
window.
take that. I actually also wanted to talk about one quote that came to my mind, that we talk about James Bond. Yeah, I mean, James Bond talks about die another day. We talk about live another day. So that's how you build
Yes.
and you get to your destination. Yeah, Glency, go on.
Yes. So I'm just showing the screen right now. Okay, this is a site again. It's okay to talk about, and it's easy to remember. And you know what it has? It has got several helpline numbers the world over. Okay, you have numbers all over the place, from India, from all over, and there are people who are there waiting to talk to you. They are spending their time, they're giving their hours. There are lots and lots of organizations. Even if you look up in your area, in your locality, you will find them. Okay, if
Right.
nothing else, ping me. Okay, I am a specialist. I'm always there for my colleagues. I'm
Yeah,
always there for anybody who reaches out, and we're not talking about any kind of money exchange. We're talking about just
correct,
helping people. Okay, so there are lots of, I've again put the link over here, but this is just a reference link. There are a lot of organizations out there, so
correct.
please reach out. Please reach out.
True.
See,
True.
if you had a disease, you would go to a doctor. So
Correct.
please, this is a disease, and if you know somebody who is suffering, you
Right.
need to treat it like that.
Yeah,
Yes,
Glancy,
Komal, go ahead, Komal.
actually, we wanted to also highlight the fact that there are a lot of sources that could help you out. That's also one thing that when you Google about suicide, I have also heard about an article that actually takes on some information and tries to provide you immediate mental health. Instead of suicide solutions, it actually prompts you for help. And that's also a good initiative online that Google has done, that whenever they suspect that somebody is going on the track of a suicide or maybe a depression kind of stuff, they tend to promote you to links that can help you.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
exactly. That's also very good because now everything is traceable, and generally people who are suffering from these kind of things will look for very morbid searches, and their search history will, hopefully they will be protected and saved from doing some harm to themselves. Yes, so
Correct.
yes, that's a good comment.
Yeah.
We still
I
have quite a few comments, Kamal, if you want me to take.
should we take the questions, or because I want to ask one question because that will help everybody, because
Yes, sure.
I actually want to highlight the fact that everybody goes through a phase wherein they are feeling very low. I mean, sometimes people get over it very easily, but sometimes people are feeling low for a long time in their personal space because of COVID, because of maybe a tough personal scenario, maybe a tough professional scenario. What tips within your home would you suggest people to get over that feeling and reach to a little positive state of mind so that you could maybe move on to the next day, take up a new challenge and go ahead? Can you share that before you take questions? That is my personal view.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so first thing I will say, I'll repeat again, exercise. Physical exercise will do you a wealth of good. Okay, I will also try to share a slide for you all, but first I will just
Yeah, no problem. I
share
think we've
it.
lost the slide. You can share that again, Glancy. Yeah, now it is here. Go
Yes.
on.
Okay, so what I was saying was, and I keep saying this again, develop a strong support network. It doesn't
Correct.
matter whether you're an introvert or extrovert. Do not, and I'm telling you this from a person who has studied so much. And one thing people we realize is we do not label people. Avoid labeling yourself as an introvert, as an extrovert, as an
Correct.
ADHD or this or that. Please do not put yourself into boxes, because
Right.
then you are limiting your individual growth and your individual healing. Okay,
Correct.
so build a strong network. Everybody can do it. Sleep, get enough sleep,
Right.
eat well. These are very simple basics. Very simple basics. A child will tell you this, but it's important. Okay.
Right.
Have hobbies. If you don't have a hobbies, find a hobby. Find something. One thing which is not probably mentioned here is get a pet. Okay. And this is a
Correct.
personal advice. Pets are great therapists. You have a pet. If you're a dog person, you get a dog. If you're a cat person, you get a cat. If you're a snake person, you get a snake. If you're a plant person, you get a plant. Talk
Correct.
to the plant, touch the plant. That is healing. You will heal inside of you. Okay.
Right. Right.
Avoid procrastinating. Keep working. Do your daily household activities. Do not procrastinate. Get
Yeah.
out of bed. Get out
True.
of bed.
True.
Keep engaged. What are we doing today in the COVID situation? We are keeping engaged. We
Correct.
are I am more engaged with Komel in the last 2 months than I was in the last 8 years that I know him. Because it's only through friends and networks that you are going to grow, that you are going to heal. So these are
Correct.
just a few tips. I'm sure each of you will have your own tips and techniques to share. Please, if you all have some tips and techniques, share it with the rest of the world. Okay.
Yeah.
We are just having a conversation, Komal and I, over here with
True.
you all.
True. Yes, Glancy, before we take a few questions and maybe look at the conclusion of this session, I want to request each one of you, whoever is watching right now, I mean, share this video to the stream on your page, because you would value some of the people who watched it. Maybe somebody who's going through that small moment of uneasiness and maybe listens to us, maybe gets a new direction, maybe finds also he could help or she could help someone else. They may not help themselves at this point of time. So please do that. I mean, it is a real need. We are not getting anything out of it. It's really a thing that we are all doing, considering the current scenario of so much stress. We need to understand that sharing this video small thing with your friends maybe could be lightening up the mood. We can see a great picture painted behind Glancy's background. I mean, that's also one way that you could keep yourself cheerful, you could keep yourself motivated, because you have to get over it. Glancy, you could take some of the questions before we end this live stream.
There's a very long question here, and I'll try to
Yeah,
put it on the screen. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Maybe you could read it and then
okay.
take the
Yeah.
question off.
Yeah. So a colleague of mine was a depression patient and was on medication, and the amount of medications have been reduced, but he still feels unwell. Okay,
Right.
so and he still takes the fear of the medicines due to the fear of going into depression,
Correct.
and this is and this is a thing which is a severe thing. Yes. Oh,
Right.
well, first thing, it's a very valid point, Amit, that you have brought up. Yes, and like I was saying, that there is medication. There is a lot of antidepressant medication outside, and it is very important for people like this, who are severe or like we will say major depressive patients. They
Right.
will need to take this kind of medication if they are not able to, and it's important that somebody tells them that this is it's like diabetes. I'm comparing depression to diabetes. Okay, whether you have type 2 or type A. Type A diabetes is, your pancreas don't produce insulin, and the second
Correct.
one is they are not working functioning too well. So
Right.
if you have diabetes, okay, you have to take the medication, right?
Correct.
And there is
Correct.
nobody in this world who's going to be happy and healthy forever.
Right.
I have जाएंगे ही जरूर. तो ऐसा मत सोचो. Be there for that friend and tell them कि हाँ ठीक है, आपको थोड़ा सी दवाई लेना है. It's all right, and
Right.
encourage the individual to do other things which
Correct.
will stop him from brooding about his disease.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say that, yeah, Kamal, you want to add something which I
Yeah,
may
I
have missed?
actually just wanted to say that I mean the feeling. I'll be honest. I mean, I have some friends and colleagues. I don't want to name anybody, but the fact is that going into a cycle of a therapist sometimes is also fearful for people, because they are like, whether this will be a vicious cycle of never ending. So, would you like to add to that? Because that's also one thing, that whether I'll be ever okay again, because then I might become maybe medicine dependent, or I become therapist dependent. So that's also one view I would like you to clarify. Yeah, I'm just a point of view.
Yeah, see, if you're not, see, one of the most important things that I tell people is that when you go to a doctor, okay, whichever doctor you go to, whether you're going to a pediatrician with your child or you're going to a neurosurgeon, you have to pray to the God Almighty, whoever you believe, pray and go with trust.
Correct.
Go with trust, okay?
True.
And if you feel that you're not getting, it's not working out, look for a second opinion, look for a
Correct.
third opinion.
Correct.
Okay, you need to trust and you need to also use your head. So
Correct.
be practical about it. And if it's a lifelong medication, आपको तो गोली ही लेनी है ना. मैं
Right.
बहुत सारे लोगों को जानती हूँ जो हर दिन 2 3 4 बार सुई लगाते हैं डायबिटीज इंसुलिन के लिए.
Correct. Correct.
Try not to think of it like that. I
Right.
know the feeling is you are feeling miserable daily, but if you don't take the medication, you will not feel good about yourself.
True. Absolutely, I completely agree with that point of view. I think I saw a few comments talking about music as one of the therapies
Yes,
to
yes,
get over the depression or maybe a bad feeling. I think I also completely agree with Siddesh's point of view and Mithilesh, that this is also one thing that a lot of people tell us, that maybe put on your headphones and get up another good music. Because actually I've realized, it's not a joke, but while you're working out, try put a very slow music. You will realize that your, I mean, exercises are doing very low. I mean, you're not able to complete your sets. So if you put up a little pepping up music on your headphones, maybe you're able to work out better. Yeah, Glancy.
yes, absolutely. And as you know, I'm also a singer and I love to sing. And I struggle to get those few minutes where I can sing. But
Correct.
the music is music soothes the beast within. So it is the best thing if you get a music hobby, get some kind of a hobby, get a pet.
Right. Right.
There are lots of ways out of it, but
Right.
don't. I won't get into the deeper the very severe aspects of depression, not in this session.
Correct. Correct.
Maybe if we have some questions and some individual, we can always help some individual consultation. But I
Right.
want to be positive about this because being positive is what life is all about.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Glancy, I want to add one thing that I had recently heard, and when I was researching about this topic, that this is my suggestion to everybody, that people create an achievement list or an achievement wall in their homes and in their offices. That what are the best things that have happened to them in their life? Choose a positive day, collect all those things, make a collage, and keep it on the wall. And whenever you're feeling low, just get up and look at that. Maybe at some point of time in your school, in your college, you did much great, and actually the mind actually gets diverted and creates a self belief of achievement, and that is one way I feel people can overcome it.
and I'll tell you one more thing that you reminded me. Yes, of course, that all those positives will help. Make a promise to yourself. Make a promise, a pledge to yourself that no matter how things get in life, you will not turn against your own body. Make a
Correct.
promise to yourself and keep it.
Yes, I think everybody who's hearing it, I would like them also to make that pledge. Put that in the comment that yeah, I pledge today that whatever may be the scenario, I'll ask for help. I'll not go any extreme steps. I think this is one thing that everybody should do today. And also, I want to add one thing that people were asking, Glancy, if you have any information on some of the websites that you could take maybe a psychometric test, or maybe that could also you could share in the comment section for people, because I think Dipti as well as Samir Khairnar, two of them asked similar questions, that can you suggest a website?
I will. I will put in the links as soon as we are through. It's almost 10:40. So surely I will. I will recommend a few tests that you can do yourselves, and it will
Right.
really help. So I will put in the links in the comments.
Yeah.
It will really help you.
Before I let Glancy have the last few words on this topic and advice, I want to thank everyone who's joined at late time of the hour, because we chose this time because everybody's free from their work from home, as well as some of the home duties of, doing a lot of things at home because of this COVID and lockdown situations. So thank you so much for joining in, and please share this information with everybody, because this also, doing this also takes a lot of effort. Do realize it is not something that comes up in a minute. Just imagine shooting a 45-minute video and doing it live. I mean, it also takes an effort for everybody. And the only motivation that we get is that when we see these videos being shared, watched by people. Because honestly speaking, Facebook videos are not monetized. I want to just clarify that people don't earn money from Facebook videos. So if you share that without anything, it just goes as goodwill. Clancy, last words on improving mental health and depression before we close the session today.
What can I say, Komal? This is a ये जो topic है ना बहुत ही it's very deep. So I don't want to say too much. I can just say be positive, stay positive, and be there for others. Just be there for the people around you. If you can do that, you have done your job as a human being.
Correct, correct. So, on that note, thinking about others as well as self, and keeping the environment positive, healthy. Let's end this live stream, and keeping everybody's minds charged for the night. And I hope they all of them share this to whoever friends they have. We could send them their WhatsApp links and stuff like that. Do like, share this video, as well as maybe look at our other channels as well. Thanks, Clancy. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Komal. Thank you and good night. So bye bye from the Step Up
Bye.
team. Bye bye.